Hey everybody, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate. Hey, I'm Butch Lehman, and today we're in for another episode of Rolling Reactions. Alright, in today's episode, we're taking it to the Winterclash Champion himself, Nils Jansons. And you don't need me to tell you how amazing and how progressive Nils has been for the sport of inline skating over all of these years. But whether it's his YouTube channel producing content for the masses, or even some of the video parts that he's released to promote his sponsors and the local companies that are keeping the sport alive, Nils is doing everything right. So today I wanted to feature some of those recent parts that he's released, including the most recent one, Magic Boots. Then we'll take it back a little bit to see his section called Deep Purple. And finally, we'll wrap it up with a piece that I believe is titled Saule. I think that's how it's pronounced, but I believe that means sunlight. So anyway, we're gonna shed some sunlight on some amazing skating today. Let's check it out. All right, so this first piece is titled Magic Boots, and I don't think that's a misnomer. I think when it comes to somebody like Nils Jansons, there's got to be magic or some form of witchcraft involved in order to skate at the level that he's skating at. Now, when I think about Nils, there's really two things that come to mind. First is just the speed and the power that he brings to skating. It's a very fast-paced and aggressive form of rollerblading, but then also the control and level of fluidity that he's able to bring in as well, where everything just seems so effortless and fluid. And often you don't see those two things in tandem, where if you're going to have that speed and that power, sometimes it's just on the verge of veering out of control. But not with Nils. He's got the perfect balance in my personal opinion. One of the other things that's worth mentioning is just the amount of content that Nils produces, since he's producing videos for his YouTube channel regularly, but then also releasing these parts online for his sponsors and the different brands that he represents. It's just a ton of content. And that's really admirable. That's something I personally admire as somebody with my own YouTube channel, is to consistently produce content, and especially quality content. It's a grind, and pun intended, but it is a grind, and he's able to balance those two out perfectly. Look at that fish brain on the top square, drop down to the underbar. Amazing trick there. But anyway, I've got a lot of respect for Nils, and I really can't think of anyone better if I were like a skate company of wanting a representative for my company than somebody like him who's out there in the public eye and just making blading look really good. In fact, this is my favorite trick of the video. Takes all the speed up to the fish brain on this massive ledge. And I bet that's a spot that's a lot more difficult in person. When you get there, you're probably like looking up at this wall of doom, wondering how in the world something like that is possible. But it was stylish, it was photogenic, and it was flawless. That's how we got the in-spin topsoul, revert out. Kind of an awkward run up to that too, jumping up the ledge. There's the speed and the control. Right, both of them in tandem there, with the disaster out to the soul grind, and really short soul grind too, but still rolling away flawlessly. That's also a highlight trick there, the true top acid on the massive drop ledge, full cab out. I guess we could talk about Nils' trick vocabulary as well. His trick vocabulary is incredibly diverse, and that's something I also appreciate as a viewer. And that last trick with the transfer there, amazing. And this last clip too is one I forgot about, but this is the type of thing that I think Chris Farmer's background somewhere clapping his hands, just in full support of this. But look at this topsoul down a really big kink rail. It's an amazing part. Great work, Nils, and congratulations on your victory over at Winterclash. It was well earned in my opinion. All right, well, I was mentioning this earlier, but Nils produces so much video content, and this part was released just 2 months earlier, so that's 2 large video parts in the course of just weeks. This one's titled Deep Purple. For obvious reasons, you got the purple car, the purple skates, and there's a purple sign up there in the background. Here we have a bike with purple rims. Everything is purple. And another really great video part, and like I said earlier, just doing a great job promoting his brands and his sponsors. Got the Mach 5 back royale, the wall ride. Some cool B-roll shots there of the crowd. That's got to be a tough one too. True spin Machio is one of the more difficult true spin tricks, and taking it up a ledge, a bit more difficult on that. Really cool wall ride spot. Like that looks like it was meant simply for skating, for biking, for any sort of action sport. Whoever was the architect designing that probably didn't intend that, but it was a good usage, I think. Another long rail, 90-degree angle in it. The speed, taking a lot of speed. We're talking about trick vocabularies earlier, and we got a negative Machio to backslide, backslide. Some 1-foot tricks. Launch up to fish brain, and that is just like your prototypical fish brain right there. Crouch down on it, got the grab, coming out to fakie, clean roll away. Interesting skate park here. This looks like it'd be difficult to skate with all these short transitions, very aggressive transitions, but I would definitely be in for that. Machio stall up top. Alley-oop fish, full cab out to flat. You know, I like the symmetry of that too. When it comes to skate park lines, I'm the type of person that wants to match up tricks in each line. This trick is wild. Like, I need to rewind that back, watch that again, but the stair bash down fakie, unreal coming out of that one. Gap over to the sidewalk. Good usage of that spot. Great camera angle too. Check out this rail. Got a little bit of a curve to it, but he's not going to take the curve. Instead, he's going to jump over the rail on the other side, and that is a massive drop. Like, so much could go wrong in that trick. So the element of danger, just off the charts. This one kind of reminds me of Ilya Savassin's back row. I think it was a back royale in his video too, off of some sort of truck. So kind of cool utilizing those different types of obstacles. Finally, we'll wrap things up with this part called Saule. I think that's how it's pronounced, and I believe this refers to sunlight or sunshine. And that makes perfect sense because we're shedding some light onto some big tricks here, starting off with a topsoul down a drop kink in characteristic Nils style. Got the double camera angles there, so we get the top view, the bottom view. Look at these skates. They have kind of a refreshing warmth to them, so I can definitely see the sunlight aspect behind this one versus the deep purple of the purple skates earlier. Some great product shots there, and I'm loving that Misty flip. You guys know me, I like those park elements, especially when they're brought to street-style obstacles. And so another piece of Nils' skating arsenal is being able to have those big spins and those flip tricks. Very much a very talented park skater as well, as you could tell from his win recently at Winterclash. One of my favorite tricks of all time, the Hurricane Topsoul, and doing it on a very scary obstacle there, drop rail. You just don't see very many of those. It's a very difficult trick to do. I think in every single one of Nils' sections that we've watched so far, he's done an alley-oop horn with that revert back to forward, and he does those so smooth and stylish. It really is the type of trick that I almost consider a signature trick for Nils. Loving the Luke hang. Also, look how photogenic this spot is. Getting the grab out on the 180. Super smooth. This is probably my favorite trick in this edit. This in-spin fish brain to fakie on a super tall ledge, and it even has a little drop over at the end. Setting up some speed on this one, going disaster topsoul. This is another really cool spot here as well, is this down ledge. It's like a far side fish brain, and the way it's angled looks like it'd be really hard to lock into. If you jump too far over, it would just slide out. So a lot of little technical details on some of these tricks that an outside observer might miss. Like we're going through the curve here. Soul grind around through the alley-oop unity or the front Savannah, whichever one you want to call it. I call it sick. It was an amazing trick. Another great section from Nils. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Rolling Reactions featuring your Winterclash champion, Nils Jansons. I strongly suggest you subscribe to Nils' YouTube channel because he's constantly producing some amazing content. And like I said before, he is just an all-around great representative for blading. Not only is he producing these video parts regularly, he's out at competitions, throwing down like at Winterclash, and I can't think of anyone better out there in the industry right now. So all of the love to you, Nils. Thank you for entertaining us over the years, and I look forward to seeing what you produce here in the future. Anyway, guys, I'm Butch Lehman of Roll, Minnesota, reminding you to stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some rollerblading. We'll see you all with the next video. Till then, everybody, peace.